and welcome back to my shop. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'm feeling the need for a cruise. So come along with me. Let's take a little cruise in the back roads and byways of my humble little area here. Welcome aboard. There's no errands to do. This is just a highly needed pleasure cruise. So come along, let's cruise and think about it. Got my vents open. It's still early in the morning, so it's a little chilly, but it ain't bad. Something in my teeth. Let me see. Well, got plenty of gas. I don't even have to stop. Got my biannual checkup here in another week, so I'm going to, at this particular time, I'm going to forego my honey bun. Try to keep that sugar down some. See if I can pass that blood test. Those look good. Stop. I won't stop. Gonna remember to cancel my turn signal. I guess y'all noticed that I took the signs off. I'm just going to put them on just if I feel like putting it in another car show or going to a cruise-in or something. We got a local car club, a couple of local car clubs. One of them has a cruise-in about I think it's every third Saturday of the month, and it's only about 4 miles from the house. And another one, which is a nice cruise, about 10 miles, that they do it every Saturday night. So I don't know if I'll put them on for that, but I might. Who knows? Just got to rig it up to where I can make them quick on and off. Running good. If you all watched the last episode with the Corvette, the last two of the Corvette, you'll see where I messed around with the HEI distributor and just fine-tuned it to where I can get a little bit more quickness out of that pretty much anemic 350 engine. And I was pretty successful in it. Put lighter springs in the distributor like I did in this. And, well, it's funny. First I put the medium springs in that HEI. Then I tried the lightest springs, and they were too light. Matter of fact, they were giving advance at idle, but they were really quick as far as accelerating. And so I ended up putting the medium springs in that HEI, and that's where and then going to a full manifold vacuum. If you hadn't checked out them two, if you're interested in something like that, I mean, that was that's something that pertained to, small block Chevy engines. It doesn't matter what they're in. You may find something helpful or useful. But I went through quite a bit of adjustments and tests to end up with the final settings. Now on this truck, I put the flamethrower distributor and experimented around with the springs, and ended up going with the lightest springs. And I don't get any advance out of idle out of them. And I was curious because I had another set that I might would try them in the HEI, but I decided against it. I never did do a comparison side by side to see if they're similarly sized. But you And going through the procedure to set up the vacuum advance in that HEI, ended up that going with full manifold vacuum wrung the best out of that engine. Well, on this engine, I'm still running ported. And I'm toying with the idea of trying full manifold vacuum at idle and going away from the ported. Those carburetors have several. Those Carter Webers, they have several full manifold taps I can use. So getting a full manifold vacuum source would be a problem. It's just that this engine's running really good and strong, and I almost hate to do it. And well, I've got some work I got to do to the vent, and which means I'll be driving this more while I've got the vent up on jack stands. So more than likely, I won't do it right now, but I may experiment with it after. Like I say, you know, a 235 six-cylinder engine is not a high-performance engine, even though I've got some high-performance parts in it. Let's see, right now I'm cruising along at what? 50? 2200 RPM, and it just cruising. It's not lugging, it's not straining. There's a lot more left. You know, it's kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sometimes you can't help but play with stuff, you know. I don't know, I might try it. Six-cylinder engine. As good as, you know, not perfect. I guess you can't ever get perfect, but close. A little bit of hesitation, see, right there. But it's not 100% full, even though it does say it's warmed up. It could, you know, after it warms up all the way, it doesn't do that. All the trees are filled out up here on the mountain. Pollen's been real bad this year. Anybody that has sinus issues has definitely been affected. I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. I don't get overly affected by it, but my wife does. How's the building in y'all's area? I mean, the price of building materials has gone through the roof. It's ridiculous what they're getting for wood, sheetrock, electric wire, plumbing, everything. It's crazy. Seems like the people that we've got in charge of this country need to spend more time on trying to find solutions than they are spending on passing the blame. To me, it's just whining. time. Whoa, there's a wild turkey. Well, look at him fly. A little bit of valve clank there going up the hill. Well, I mean, I slowed down to under 30 and I was going up a pretty good incline, so that's acceptable. Well, whatever I was talking about, it was good, I know. Well, we're gone. We'll just move on. Video, I made mention of my heat and air unit giving me troubles. I've got a split system and what they call a dual fuel. It's a heat pump that uses natural gas as the backup / emergency heat. So there comes a time, a temperature where the heat pump is just not efficient. It just won't pull enough heat out of the cold air to make heat. So the backup will come on. Normally with heat pumps, you got electric resistance heaters. When they kick on, you get really warm heat, but your electric meter just spins fast. All the efficiency of the heat pump is lost when they kick on. Well, so I don't use electric resistance heaters. It uses a gas furnace. And when that kicks on, oh, it's real warm heat coming on. And instead of my electric meter spinning, my gas meter spins. But it ends up being a little bit cheaper than a full heat pump, and it's, you know, good warm air. Well, anyway, it's 20 years old. It was a Carrier unit, and this past year I've been having it's got a leak, and the TXV or TVX, whatever valve that is, it's bad, and so I'm looking at pretty good money to replace just that valve. And they've done some basic troubleshooting. And they seem to think that the leak is in my A coil, which is the inside coil. And it is very expensive to replace. Half the price of a new unit, basically. So the price of a new A coil plus the valve, the TXV or TVX valve, expansion valve, is over half of what a new system costs. So I went out and got 3 bids, and going to replace it. 20 years, they say, you know, that's pretty much the lifespan of these things. That's the heat exchanger had a 20-year warranty, which is now expired. But for 19 years, it was almost trouble-free. It was really good. But now it's going to nickel and dime me to death, so I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet. And the outfit I'm going with is even going to give me a trade-in on the old one. So, and also extended me a military discount. So all you all that are veterans, don't hesitate to try and get a military discount. You've earned it, you deserve it. And in a lot of cases, it'll pay the taxes. We don't have a state income tax here in Tennessee, but we have a fairly high sales tax. And generally, if anybody extends a military discount, which is around 10%, that pays the taxes and gives you a little bit more too. So it's worth it. But anyway, so I'm going to go with an American Standard dual fuel. It's they say that the American Standard and train units, they run down the same assembly line, and that the only difference other than the name tag is the paint. That's what they say, you know, they. But they're manufactured in Texas, carry the same warranties, so I said okay, we'll try that. I didn't hear good things about Carrier on the new stuff here locally, and so even though I got pretty much 19 trouble-free years out of it, I decided I was going to change brands. So I had Train, I had Amana, and a real cheap brand or inexpensive brand called Goodman that I used to have a rental house in town, and I put a new Goodman in that, and knock on wood, it didn't give me any problems at all. So, but it has the reputation of being inexpensive. You know, back in the day, Sears would rate stuff good, better, best. Well, the Goodman's, I guess, is considered good. The American Standard is considered better. And I guess the Train is considered best. Although, like I say, they're virtually the same. So that took a lot of my time. I haven't been doing any wrenching basically at all. And I haven't been doing any cruising. That's why I want to get this cruising. Definitely hadn't cruised this good in a long time. Beautiful day, beautiful. Here comes a big bump. They ran, I guess, a new water line. Maybe they cut the road here, and if I hit it at speed, it'll pop my dadgum roof off. You hear rattling when I'm accelerating. It's not my valves, it's my speedometer. It'll rattle bad at anything above 60. Well, really 50. Of course, it gets worse above 50. Or if I'm under a load going up a hill or something in high gear, anything that just stresses, you know, puts a lot of torque through the drivetrain, it'll start rattling. And sometimes I've got to take the speedo cable off, shoot some silicone down the cable, and then shoot some in the back of the speedometer, and that quiets it down until I overstress it again. Well, this year I'm running late on my garden. I got caught up in so many other things that I haven't even tilled it yet. So I guess you could say I'm no-tilling. But I will till it to break it up good, because I got a lot of clover and grass growing there now, so I'll have to run the tiller to break it up. But I start my own seeds, and I was late getting them started too. But they're doing good now. They spent their first night out, overnight outside last night, and they looked okay this morning. So I moved them out to where they'll keep direct sun, and I'll probably be leaving them outside now until I get the plot ready to get them in the dirt. Thinking about moving my garden. Oh, there's somebody getting a new unit. Every HVAC outfit I talk to, we're replacing units. I mean, they say we're changing the season. Hurry up, Squirrely. Changing the season that the screw fell up under my foot there. Where it came from. But it's getting real busy now since air conditioning is running. Because a lot of people are heating with furnace. Of course, a lot of people down here heat with wood. A lot of people I know. Well, all right, you still with me? I know that was an abrupt stop. And well, what happened was the first battery went dead on the camera. So I figured that's a pretty good stopping point. I took several batteries along, spare batteries along with me, to and just decided to record as much of the trip as I could, which is about an hour and a half run. Now, I edited out a lot of the some of the stuff that was, you know, a little boring and everything, or more boring than the rest of it, and I still had over an hour's worth of video. So that's why I'm making this a two-part deal. So we're going to end part one here, and we'll pick up part two, which is about the same length as this one, in the next episode. I guess I don't do as much talking in this second one, so maybe that's a better thing. Just cruising and yapping. You know, what do they call it? Cruising and coffee, something like that. Well, that's kind of like this here, but it's just one person anyway. One person with all you all with me. So, all that said, I hope everything's going good with you and yours. Everything's going good here. Can't complain. Won't do me no good to complain anyway. So have a good one, and I hope to see you around on the next one. See you.